Hi there, this is Chris, and we're continuing with our leg tidying, and then we're going to go on to hip design. Doesn't get much better than this, folks. Woohoo! Okay, so left viewport, first thing, and I want to zoom in a bit. Just right click out of that, I'm going to marquee drag that, and hide unselected. There it is. Now I forgot where hide unselected was. How embarrassing. Okay, I've got edge faces on, and I've actually got snap to on, so I'll turn that off. Now what I want to do is create a couple of dummies. One here, and one here. And, I mean, technically I only really need to create one actually, so let's create the one. There we are. Right, now I'm going to call this one the leg piston dummy. There we go. And I'm going to align this to that. There we go. So it's at the pivot point. Now, this is going to look at that. So, rotation, look at, wherever the heck look at's gone. God damn it, where's my look at? Oh, I'm looking at position. Rotation, here we are. Look at. Add the look at target, it's going to be this. Now we need to set it up so it's looking in the right direction. Close. I might need to rotate the axis a little bit. There we go. Right. Yeah, and also I need to link this now. I think add it to this leg. Press F3, I want to select this and link this to this leg as well. Now this is going to stare, because you can't have these stare at each other, that creates a loop, it doesn't work. I'm going to have that stare at the dummy obviously, so look at, add our look at target, and we're going to have this one. Now we need to go all the way through setting this up like we did the last one. There we are. And do a link here. Now what should happen is I should rotate this, and oh, would you look at that? Oh, look. It's like magic, isn't it? See? Clearly defining how much our leg can move. Okay, perspective. Zoom out. Notice I haven't done any smoothing. I'll just do all the smoothing at the end, you see. Okay, I've got to link this leg to this as well then. So, because we're linking it up instead of down. Oh no, I'm linking it the wrong way, aren't I? My mistake. Select this one and this one. Unlink. Link this one to this one. There we are. There we go. So I can kind of bring it back like that, and bring this down like that. See? Ultimately funky. Hurrah. Now then, over here, I now have to create a piece in this. So, hide unselected. Check it out, make sure it's okay. Now, got no modifiers on here to worry about. If I did, I'd just use an 8 poly. I'm going to inset, start with a bevel, and I'm going to create 2 piston bracket pieces in here. Actually, I don't need to do anything now that I've done that. Now then, if we look, I'm going to bring it down from there to there. You can't see it very well, so I'll just kind of show you. It's going to come from here to here and here up to here. See, lovely big box. Right, so cut tool, straight down like that, and I'm going to check these cuts once I've made them, because 3ds Max, you know, fine app and all that, has a habit of doing strange things. There you go, you see. Just repair our first broken cut. That That one seems okay. That one also seems okay. And that one's okay. So there you go, just as well we checked. Next, with these two selected, I'm going to connect twice. Now I'm going to select the middle polygon. I'm using the link tool, aren't I? And I'm going to change this to view. Oops, wrong way. Just expand it upwards like so. Select in here. Connect. Too many times, I just want to connect them once. And then chamfer it a little. There we go. And this is where our big fat pistons that connect, well, joins really, they're connected to the hip are going to connect. This is going to give us flexibility, a bit like a ball joint for the hip. It won't give us total flexibility in the same way that if you stand up you can actually lift your leg almost out about, I'd say, a normal person can punch about 50 degrees. So, you know, anyway, this won't manage that much, but it's enough for it to keep its balance while it walks. That's what we need. If you don't have hip joints, you can have a very, well, it won't work very well, let's just say. Right, first things first, going to isolate some height on this. Scale these both in, like so. Okay, now I'm going to select these top ones because they're way off. Okay, by doing this, you see, I'm making sure that these are quite straight for when I come to make these into my, what are they called? My connectors, okay? So, I mean, it's important that I make sure that they are, you'll notice they don't come out so we can't see this kind of messed around shape. Okay, now bevel, again, so it makes it look like it's got a bit of a weld in place. Bring them up to about there. Connect just the once. I'll have to do these one at a time. Hinge from edge. I'll just pick this one. I'll do the vertex weld in just a minute. The wrong edge. On that one. I just deleted the entire lot, didn't I? There we go. Okay, now on the side view here, I'm going to select, just marquee drag, and do a weld, 6102, yep, that's right. Okay, don't need to put a hollow piece in these. So I'm going to select here, 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 all one. Remember, this is quite a big model piece, so it's easy for your line to get lost somewhere. Okay, just click loop, and I'm going to, well, that thing's zoomed off into infinity, hasn't it? There we go. Fortunately, I only want to use a little chamfer, otherwise I'd have to go and deselect all these lines. So, God, where's that one going? Look, it goes all the way down there. Funky. Now, I'm only doing a 0.01, so I don't recommend you do this yourself, but I'm trying to save time at the moment, because this is quite a long tutorial. There we go. Zoom out. Make sure it hasn't adversely affected the model. Right, no it hasn't, and we've got these two nice big bits here. Alright, zoom back in. And check those out. No, they look fine. Now what I'm going to do for our hip area is I'm going to grab this, go to my front viewpoint and zoom. See that polygon there? Because that polygon's more or less the same size as this one. I'm just going to drag it up to here. Now I'm going to go to my left viewport, and there you can see it. And effect pivot only center to object. Now what I want to do is reset by centering to object and then reset my X form. There we go. Now I just want to line these up like so. There, now drop it to perspective mode, and that's where our hip is going to be. Collapse this. Couple of small bevels. Gives a good place to start off with. Now I'm going to select my ring on the outside, just shift and drag. Interesting, it's missing a piece there, but that doesn't matter too much. Okay. Now in the same way that we made these kind of brackets over this side, we can do the same thing over here. So I'm just checking it out. I'm going to raise this down a little bit, the entire piece. That way the bracket's kind of going upward. I'll bring this back piece in a bit more as well, because that's going to be connected to like the hip area. Big bearing going through and stuff. Okay, isolate the selection. Now you may remember, because we only did it about 2 minutes ago, how to do this. Sincerely hope you remember anyway. Now interestingly, this isn't actually in any way symmetrical. Might be worth basically cutting up and doing it again. So what I'm going to do is kill that bit, do a copy like so, kill there and there, angle snap off. Should be able to just rotate it into place about there. Thought as much. Take this piece, attach this piece, do this. There we go. And that's actually repaired it. I'm going to check the side here. Alright, that's good. I'm pleased with that. Cap it up again. Oops, that's the camera button. There we go. And left viewport. Now I'm going to cut myself some lines into this. I'm turning off select by poly, because you can't see anything when you use that. Down to there. Down to there. Connect. Actually I'm going to connect twice, aren't I? There we go. And move them apart a bit. Now I'm just going to chamfer them both. That there. Perspective. Bevel. Bring these straight in like so, and bevel them straight out. There we go. Now, select these ones. There we are. Click connect. Just the once. Okay, and get rid of these bits. And this is the same as last time, 180, 12. And this one should do it automatically. Yeah, and just click weld. Whee! There we go. Now what I'm seeing here is a little bit worrying because it appears that these are not straight, so I'm going to have to straighten them out. So straighten these out manually, because if we don't, this will come back and haunt us very, very soon indeed. But not so soon that we can go back and fix it really easily. So it's worth spending the extra 90 seconds. Your eyes are a fantastically useful tool, and they can tell when something's not right. That's why it took us slightly longer to weld than last time, because the welds were offset against each other. Sorry, the verts were offset against each other. There we are. I'm going to select that one, that one, that one, and that one. I'll just loop, and then chamfer. 0.01. Okay. There we go. And down here, just to get rid of these, I can use a weld. Not too much though. There we are. Same up here. Okay, so we've got this piece in place now. I can exit isolation mode and zoom. Now you can see how these are going to kind of fit together. I'm going to bring the hip area, which is here, across a bit. Now I'm going to have to build our piston, one of each, and our shaft, one of each. So, actual fact, unhide all. I think I can probably just grab one and use it. Actually no, sorry, I'm just being lazy. There we are. I'll just do it the old fashioned way. It's pretty easy to do. So, cylinder in here. Take half of that out this way and this way. Just squash it. Zoom in on this bit. And select by edge. Good old repetition, best way to learn. There we are. It's probably just as well really though, because we have done a lot of these things here. Now what I'm going to do with this one is just bring it back to about there, and I'm going to manually extrude it about so far. Right, now what I want to do here is select edge, loop. Okay, it doesn't want to loop. Fine, you be like that. Hold down Control, select by edge. And I'm going to deselect that one and that one. There we are. Now I can chamfer this lot. There we go. You don't need to chamfer with game models, but with this kind of model, yes you do. Top. Now I'm going to affect the pivot first. Start by moving on the correct axis, that helps. Right, now I'm going to make myself a copy of it. Oop, wrong one. There we are. So I'm going to press angle snap, hold down shift to do a 180. And I'm going to drag this over here. So, zoom in on it on perspective. Front viewport, F3. There we go. Perspective off. Okay, that way we've got one over here and one over here. I think I'm going to put a little bit more distance between these ones. I'm on local, I can tell. There we go. Right, that way we can actually have some movement to our actual pelvis or abdomen or whatever the hell it's called. Coffee. Right, now I'm going to get back to work on this one. Going to mirror it like that and attach. Give it a nice new name, something like hip leg side piston. Drag that down like so. To make it an instance. Right, over here. Okay, check these ones are chamfered too. Okay. Now then, what's going on over here? These exciting little shapes. No, looks like they are just an old bug that I had there from earlier. Okay, so means I can probably get rid of them quite easily. Zoom in on it. Interesting. Small cut in here. Long to about there. Target weld that down, that repairs that chamfer. Now over here, goodness knows why it's doing this, but it's not going to for very much longer. I've no patience for models when they mess up like this. I don't mind having one chamfer running down the side, but that many's just silly. Okay, cap. Yeah, that looks good. Troubleshot that one quite well. Same again then, over here. I'm going to save this because we've been using it for a while now, so 8 hip prep. Right, delete these parts. Going down here, quick cut. Nice target weld down here. And here. break out of target world a minute and go and zoom in on these. Simple enough repair. Let's see what I'm doing, which is why I tend to record everything. I prefer having everything I do transparent, warts and all, as they say over here. There we go. Okay, so now I can safely knowledge that both of these have been repaired, which they have, thanks to instancing. Attach my cylinder, which is going to go round about here. Move that down a bit and then attach it. It's a bevel and a zero length, bring it out. Bring that to about there. And back in. There we are. Don't even need to bevel at the back there because it's not going to be seen, hopefully. Right, next. Convert to editable poly so these two become different. Check their pivot points. Yeah, they're right. Okay. Now down here, and I'm going to at the top viewport. That looks about right, so I'm going to mirror, bring it out to about there, and attach these two together. Now then, effect pivot only. Let's move this a bit more this way. There we are. Perspective zoom. Right, let's do a quick render, see if it actually digs a hole in this, because I can't be bothered to do it twice. No, there's no hole in there, that's fine. So if I click cancel, before my computer starts working so hard that it just explodes. No, I won't do that. My machine's a hovercraft. Okay, select there and there, bridge, and then there, 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 and there, for a chamfer. Now then, for this bit, I want to get the size right. So what I'm going to do is just grab this, just here, do a 180 flip, clunk it to the object, there we are, and just move it down to here, sink it in. There we are. Don't want it to hover. Put it out like so. And that should give us plenty of flexibility for this. We can actually bring out the end quite a bit more because it will just sink through there. So there we are. Now what I'm going to do is attach this, and then if I go to my front viewport and zoom, I want to lay this over the top of this piece here. There we go, zoom out, perspective. Okay, so you can see how this is going to work. I'm just going to go straight up and apply smooth to all these as well. There we go. Converted to the wrong one there. Convert to editable poly. Okay, now I need to set up the lookout constraints, which is easy. I only need 2 dummies for this, so one there and one there. Now, first things first, I've got this one named, I think, and this is hipside peston. I always put that underscore in. I think it's because I used to make stuff with game engines and I just got used to it. There we go. This should be our hip side. Okay, now we can start setting this up properly. So, over here, rotation, look at, add that. No, not that, just that. And make sure it's looking at it with the correct, what do you call him? Now this one. Same again. Okay, now these ones. This one first, I'm going to align it to this. And then this one, I'm going to align to this. And this is the hip dummy 1. And then down here, this is hip dummy 2. As I say, it does help if you write down what you're exactly doing now and what the items are. Right, rotation. Look at, add look at target. There it is. And change this. Now over here, rotation, look at constraint, adding a look at target, added the wrong one there we go, and change the align to up node axis. Okay, so that gives us these 2 rather bulky yet incredibly joyful looking things. Now over here, if I grab everything except this, I'm going to link this slot to this piece. This means now that I've got to flip these. There we go. And for these, I'm going to do the same again. This means, in theory, there. Okay. And just apply our base material to everything. Unhide all. So now, if everything's linked up properly, see, you can move the stuff along like that. Turn off angle snap. There you go, you see. Sinks in rather nicely. So say I want to lift the leg up. See? Probably about time I attach this leg as well. Actually no, I'll attach these both to a dummy later on. Right, so with that piece done, I'm going to bring an end to this part of the tutorial, and I'll see you in the next bit. So thanks very much for watching.